Good morning, everybody. It's Friday, April 10th, 2020. I'm Stephanie Haney. I'm here with your latest updates related to COVID-19 coronavirus here in Ohio and across the country, as well as around the world. And we begin each morning, as we do each day, with the latest numbers from yesterday's 2 p.m. press conference. Here are the latest numbers that we have confirmed in the state of Ohio. Again, these came in yesterday at 2 p.m. from the Ohio Department of Health. We currently have 5,512 confirmed positive cases of COVID-19 coronavirus here in the state of Ohio. The death toll is at 213 people who have died related to the virus here in Ohio. There are currently 1,612 people hospitalized, and 497 of those people are in the intensive care unit. That is as of 2 p.m. yesterday on Thursday, April 9th. The age range of people who have tested positive remains from less than 1 year old all the way to 101 years old, with that median age being 54, and a pretty even split between males and females, with 48% of those testing positive being male and 52% being female. So now we'll start with some good news from Cuyahoga County. Many people have been released from isolation in Cuyahoga County. We have been hearing a lot, of course, about the people who have been diagnosed with COVID-19 and who have tested positive. But now we know that 143 people who were infected with coronavirus have now been cleared from isolation in Cuyahoga County. That's brand new this morning. Dr. Heidi Gullett has said this morning, these numbers literally change by the minute and the hour, but that's where we are right now. 143 people who have been confirmed as having had COVID-19 have now been cleared from isolation. So definitely good news there. Good news for those 143 people and their family and loved ones today. Ohio, as we know, is getting a lot of national attention for the precautionary measures that we've taken to stop the spread of COVID-19 here in our state. We've been hearing now how our peak projections have reduced dramatically. Dr. Amy Acton did say at one point that we could expect a peak in Ohio of 10,000 new cases a day. That is down to now 1,600 anticipated new cases a day at the peak, which could come anywhere from late April to mid-May to mid-June. We just don't know, based on the different models, exactly when that will come here in Ohio. But that is a dramatic decrease. So now the Washington Post is reporting about how Ohio really got it right, calling Ohio's procedures textbook and the protocols that we've put in place to get ahead of this and to flatten that curve. This includes the early canceling of schools and canceling events. If you remember, the Arnold Classic was canceled very early on, and many people were confused about that. It was postponed, rather, and many people were very confused about that here in Ohio. But that proved to be something that was a positive move in terms of flattening the curve here in Ohio, and significantly cut the original projected victims that we would experience here in Ohio. The article also noted that the major hospitals in Columbus, Cleveland, and Cincinnati have worked hard to help each other out and have been preparing for the virus since January. And it's recently been brought to our attention that Cleveland Clinic health officials will be going to both Michigan and New York in order to support their efforts to fight COVID-19 coronavirus. Now, of course, if we do happen to need those health professionals back here in the state of Ohio, they will return to Ohio. But right now, we're in a situation where we do have additional medical personnel where we can lend to those places where they have been hit particularly hard. So now let's turn the focus to the financial impact of COVID-19 coronavirus. Many people are wondering when your stimulus checks will arrive from that $2.2 trillion U.S. CARES Act that was recently passed and signed into law by President Donald Trump. So here's the latest information about that. If you have direct deposit set up from filing your taxes, you could get payment as early as today, and those payments will span over the next few weeks. U.S. Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin said that most Americans will receive that stimulus payment by April 17th. And as a reminder, the maximum stimulus payment will be $1,200 per adult and $500 for dependent children as well. Now that, of course, will vary based on your income, and there is a cutoff at a certain point. At the higher level incomes will not receive a stimulus check. But if you are in that bracket of who is going to be receiving a stimulus check, you can expect that between now and April 17th if you have direct deposit. Now, if you have had checks mailed to you in the past, those will be sent out on tiers by income level. So that will be a little bit more drawn out, but people in the lower income levels will receive those checks sooner. And if you're wondering what amount of money you might receive from the stimulus package, we have an article on WKYC.com. You can check that out. You can put in your income from your last tax filing, your situation, whether you are married, are single, have dependents, and what then you can anticipate that payment might be. Related to students who are working hard to continue their learning at a distance, 300 hotspots have been donated to Cleveland students to help them learn from home. Hotspots, of course, are devices that allow you access the internet if you don't have internet access wherever you are. So estimates show that nearly 25% of families in Cuyahoga County do not have access to the internet. County Executive Armin Budish said, quote, "Our team worked with AT&T to identify a plan to provide Wi-Fi access for free for about 2 months for each of the hotspots. That should take the children through the end of the school year." So Cleveland students preparing not to return to school. I know there was some talk from the Ohio High School Athletic Association about what it might look like if students did return to school by May 4th, but here in Cleveland, executives are preparing to not return to school, and those hotspots will certainly help those students who do not have internet access and need those in order to be able to complete their at-home distance learning. So great news there. For people that do have internet access, listen up to this. You know, everybody is talking about Tiger King. No matter where you go, no matter who you are, you probably know someone who's talking about Tiger King. And there is a new episode coming. So if you already binged the entire 7-episode series, there's one more episode coming for you, and it's going to drop on Easter Sunday. It will be a special episode hosted by comedian Joel McHale, and it is titled Tiger King and I. And this will feature brand new interviews with some of the original cast. We're talking about John Rank, Joshua Dial, John Finley, Saf, Eric Cowie, Rick Kirkman, and Jeff and Lauren Lowe. Two people who will be missing are Joe Exotic himself, who is currently serving a sentence in an Oklahoma prison, and Big Cat Rescue CEO Carol Baskin. Carol Baskin called the docuseries when it originally aired salacious and sensation and full of unsavory lives. A lot of people have a lot of opinions about that. I'll just leave it at that. You can draw your own conclusion from that. But Joe Exotic and Carol Baskin will not be in this special that is airing on Sunday on Netflix. Netflix made the announcement on Twitter with a video showing McHale without a shirt on, wearing a cowboy hat and an animal print scarf and his Tiger King getup. And he had Netflix written across his stomach like a tattoo. You should check it out. It's pretty funny. I recommend checking it out. So McHale calls the interviews, quote, eye-opening and hopefully funny. We hope so too. The interviews will all catch up with the original cast and see what's happened in their lives since that docuseries aired. So if you're looking for something to give you a laugh, something to smile about, that just might be it for you this Easter Sunday. That's our update for you related to COVID-19 coronavirus this morning and other things around the country and the world. I will be back here at 2 p.m., so make sure you check in back for that as soon as we get those Ohio Department of Health updated numbers, and I will see you there.